Hey there guys, what's going on? In today's best class setups in Modern Warfare video, we've got a bit of a special one today. As you can probably tell by the title and thumbnail, we are talking about the Grau 5.56, which is now one of my favorite assault rifles in Modern Warfare. If you've not unlocked it yet, you get it in the Battle Pass pretty early on. I think it's about rank 15, I believe. And it's a very versatile weapon with loads of different attachments that affect the weapon differently. Now, I'm a big M4 fan, of course, because it is currently still one of the best guns, if not the best gun in the game. But if I ever need to stomp a lobby, like absolutely just crush it, I'm taking this Grau class pretty much every day. This setup really does allow you to melt through enemies at all range, close, medium, and long with little recoil. This is my favorite gun in the game at the moment and my favorite class setup as well. It's proper powerful and I've got the best class setup for the Grau 5.56 for you guys today. Like, we have really maxed this thing out. I think this is the best gun in the game for sure at the moment. But just before we do get into our class setup here, let's try and get this video to 8 likes. The support from you guys has been proper fantastic recently, just unreal. Like, I've got loads of videos lined up. We got them all sorted out and I'm looking forward to all of you seeing them. It's pretty wild that we are still on our way to 500 subscribers. That is absolutely crazy to me. So make sure you do hit that subscribe button with those notifications turned on if you haven't already, so you don't miss any more of my videos. I know you guys love the class setups and I've got plenty of them coming in the future, so do stay tuned for those. Now let's talk about this overpowered Grau 5.56 class. Right, so I'll admit it on video here, I've never actually gotten a tactical nuke before. I've come close loads of times, but I'm always like 5, 6, 7 kills away before I die or the game ends. But I've definitely been getting closer to it with this class. The more I use this thing, the more I am enjoying it over the M4A1. This thing might have a little bit more recoil than the M4, and I mean, I've not really done exact testing with that to make 100% sure which is exactly better. But for my playstyle and the way I play the game, I feel like this weapon is better than the M4. You can do some serious work at pretty much every single range, and I feel like you can outgun pretty much everything apart from maybe like an MP5 at very, very close range, like almost point blank. We'll definitely have new class setups coming out soon for both the MP5 and M4A1s, because I've been working on my M4 and MP5 classes recently, and I think I've got some pretty good ones for you guys, so keep an eye out for that. Anyway, let's take a look at this class, because this is an absolutely spicy one. If you've not tried the Grau yet, you can do an awful lot of work with it, and it is great fun to level up, so let's talk about it. So we're going to start with our sidearm perks and grenade choices here, as we always do. I'm going to go over it quite quickly, because they don't really differ too much between any of my classes. My sidearm, of course, is the X16 pistol, which is set up like this with the monolithic suppressor, the Singard Arms Advantage, the 5mm laser, the lightweight trigger, and the akimbo perk. I feel like this is a really, really powerful option for just sort of spraying down people, and it is pretty hilarious how good this is at sort of medium range. Perk 1, you've always got 3 choices here. EOD if people are chucking those explosives at you consistently. You also want to look at kill chain as well if you're planning on getting those higher streaks, because they are quite good. And also quick fix is a really good option as well, just to get that health regeneration started if you do get into a fight. Restock in the perk 2 slot is our option here with the recharge of equipment every 25 seconds. It's just really, really powerful. You can't really go past that too much. And shrapnel is our 3rd perk, because getting that extra piece of lethal equipment and just being able to hold down an area with like a claymore or a Betty or even chuck a second C4 is really, really cool. Plus, on certain maps like Crash, they're actually really, really hard to see and are super powerful. Speaking of being really powerful, this is what I was talking about. The proximity mine in the lethal slot is able to let you hold down various areas of the map very easily. And the tactical is, of course, the stim shot, which just getting a new one of these every 25 seconds, just getting an extra life is really, really powerful too. So starting off with our attachments here for the Grau 5.56, we've got the muzzle slot with the monolithic suppressor. With this, we get that sound suppression and damage range. You know what we're getting out of this in this game. One of the best attachments for pretty much every gun on offer in the game, bar maybe the snipers. You do, of course, lose a little bit of aim down sight speed and aim walking steadiness, but we can make up for that handling and mobility losses with other attachments. You're likely to get 3 to 4 to 5 shot kills with this thing at pretty much every single range, and the monolithic suppressor extends that out by a decent way. This can definitely net you faster kills at certain distance breakpoints, and it's just one of those attachments that just feels right on this gun. It makes it sound great, and it just sort of performs way better too. I feel like if we had a Hall of Fame of attachments in Modern Warfare, the monolithic suppressor would be up there with the stippled grip tape for sure. Another option in this slot is, of course, the compensator for that recoil control that you do get, but I feel like with the control options that we do have in this class, along with the gun's natural low recoil, the compensator is not really required here, but if you feel like you need it, take it as well. So of course, in the muzzle slot, we of course have the monolithic suppressor. Moving on to our second attachment here, which is the barrel slot. It's a pretty interesting slot for the Grau 5.56. In here, we do have the FSS 20.8 inch Nexus barrel. we do get the damage range, bullet velocity, and recoil control in healthy amounts. Again, we do lose some mobility with the aim down, sight speed, and movement speed reductions, but like I said, we can get that back. Like I said, this slot is very, very interesting for the Grau. There are 4 different options here, each with different performance statistics and interestingly different iron sights. So we do of course have 2 barrels that do give us very similar stats, the FSS 26.4 inch Archangel and the Nexus barrel as well. They do give us both the same stats here in varying amounts. But the main difference between these two, like the main significant difference between these two is the iron sights between them. With the Archangel, you do get more of a needle-like sight. You can see it in the background there. It's more needle-like, whereas with the Nexus barrel, it's a more common, like these are the iron sights you'd see on more weapons. That's sort of a more common sight, basically. I'm a big fan of the Nexus barrel in this slot. I feel like it looks way cleaner, and I'm able to track targets a lot better with this particular iron sight. But if you do prefer the Archangel's iron sights with the needle-like point, it is also a fantastic option here. The Nexus stats point towards it being slightly more mobile, whereas the Archangel is more effective at range. The difference isn't super large and it won't cost you too many kills either way, so you're more than welcome to choose whatever you prefer here. We've been spoiled by 2 fantastic barrel options in this slot, but I've gone with the Nexus barrel here. Next, we've got a pretty underappreciated attachment in this game. In the underbarrel slot, we've got the Commando foregrip. We get that recoil stabilization and aiming stability, and that makes the Grau very, very reliable. This is one of those attachments that pros are making use of on a lot of their classes, like they're running this on their M4 and their Grau classes and sometimes their MP5s, and you should do that as well. You get very little horizontal recoil out of this, and it makes the weapon super accurate at those medium to long range fights. As I mentioned already, the Grau 5.56 doesn't already have a lot of recoil. If anything, it does have a little bit of horizontal. So having the Commando foregrip attached really does help us keep on that target and sending those bullets pretty much exactly where we want them to go. Another option here is, of course, the Merc foregrip as well, just because it's a fairly good option in this slot as well. Just get that recoil control and hip fire accuracy, but the Grau doesn't really have a lot of vertical recoil, it's more horizontal, so the most useful attachment in this slot, and that's the one we've chosen, is the Commando foregrip. Our next attachment slot is the ammo slot, and this we do have here the 60 round magazines. Of course, this does extend our magazine size from 30 to 60. This is a pretty big deal, and it's funnily enough one of the reasons why I believe that the Grau is better than the M4. With the M4, the larger magazines have a very large negative impact on your mobility. Like if you put the 60 round magazines on an M4, you are very slow. You have to sort of use the 50 rounds or not at all really there. I'm pretty sure this was nerfed at one point to make people try and use another attachment or just sort of use another gun. So running the largest mag on the M4 feels way worse, almost like you're playing in quicksand. The Grau's 60 round magazine does not suffer from this issue. They're still slower than you would normally be, but it's not really that bad. You can definitely get away with running the larger mags on the Grau, and that'll let you go on those longer streaks because larger magazines equal a larger total ammo count. I believe you start with 180 total rounds rather than the usual 90, I believe it is. So if you're like me and you're going for those nukes or longer streaks, you'll want as many rounds as possible. And that makes the 60 round magazine such a good option for the Grau 5.56. I'll definitely be talking about this subject more when I make my next M4A1 video, which is not too far away. I've got a spicy class for that, like I said, so do keep an eye out. So in the ammo slot, we do have these 60 round mags. And lastly, we've got everybody's favorite attachment slot, the rear grip. This is the GOAT slot, man, like the greatest of all time slot. You know what I mean? Some variation of the stipple grip tape is going in here. We've got the XRK Void 2 for that aim down sight speed and sprint to fire speed. This is basically the best attachment for pretty much every gun in this game. I can't think of one that doesn't always want to aim down sight faster and get that gun up faster as well. Running around with this assault rifle being aggressive is really powerful with this class setup. You always want to get those sights up as quickly as possible. Plus, sprint to fire speed is probably the best stat in this game. The higher this is, the more aggressive you can be, and it can actually save your life if you do get taken by surprise. It feels really strong to be sprinting around, getting those sights up super quickly. Another tip in my class setups, if you do pick the largest, heaviest barrel option, you'll always want to throw on the stipple grip tape, or at least whatever does have those stats, in this case, the XRK Void 2. Really balances out the handling you do lose from the monster barrels, and it's a really powerful combination. It's how I make most of my classes, and it does work for me. So of course, we could not leave this off in this slot. We do have the XRK Stippled Void Tape Grip 2. Right, so this is our full class setup here with every attachment. With every attachment that we've chosen, it does work together in a very satisfying way, and this is my favorite gun and class setup in this game. It's quite possibly the best in my opinion. I'm still not 100% sure which is better out of the M4 or the Grau 5.56, but I'm sure that this is one of the best classes in the game. And just sort of, this suits my playstyle a bit better than the M4 in my opinion. If you've not given the Grau a chance yet, make sure you do chuck this class together. It is very, very powerful. I'll probably get that nuke soon. I've been pretty close. Hopefully I'm recording when it does happen so you guys get to be a part of it. If you like this class and you do want to see more of my videos, make sure you do leave a like and do subscribe if you are new around here. I massively appreciate it always, and it will definitely help me out. We are, of course, well on our way to 500 subscribers, and if everyone subscribed, just told one friend to subscribe, we'd basically be at 1,000 subscribers already, which would just be wild. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I will see you in the next video. Bye!